This is a show called Dirty Harry, and it was made in the 70s. It tackles a lot of political issues such as diversity and women quotas within the police station, racist police officers, or how to police minority neighborhoods. All of these are being tackled in a lot of interesting scenes, something that you would definitely not be able to see on television nowadays. And unfortunately, I can't actually play for you the whole thing because it's copyrighted. But I can at least present to you this scene, which I find it very interesting. So, all of these police officers are being called in order to form a committee to decide on what inspectors they should promote. And part of this committee is this lady who has been sent by the mayor, and she looks to be like a feminist political activist. And her job is to make sure that there are more women being represented on the police force. And seeing Hattie, she also says that part of her job is to make sure that some of the Neanderthals get laid off from the police force in order to make room for the bright new people. Now, it's interesting because Hattie is considered to be the Neanderthal, and he is an old police officer with a lot of experience on the streets. He is the type of person that actually gets the job done. But unfortunately, he doesn't fit the new culture because he is very outspoken. He is very cross. He doesn't mince words. He's kind of like Dr. House, the type of doctor that does the job very well but doesn't have bedside manner. And he's not very compatible in a culture where this lady takes over, where it's all about facade. It's all about knowing how to say, massaging your language, even if you're an incompetent police officer. In other words, people who are incompetent get to be promoted, but the people who get to do their job, they get to be ostracized because they don't have the correct opinions and they don't speak properly. So this is the first thing that's being criticized in the first 20 seconds of this scene. So the first candidate that comes in happens to be a woman. Very, very beautiful mademoiselle. And everyone in the room asks her very softball questions, like, how many years have you been to the police force? And she goes like 9. What were you doing? And she's like, well, I was the office part of the police force. Then everyone looks to Harry, expecting that he would ask her a question as well. And you can see that he is kind of not into it because he kind of realizes that this whole thing is rigged, that she is supposed to get the job no matter what she answers. So just to annoy the people around him, he asks her actually a competent question, which is what you're not supposed to do. He asks her, can you name me the last felony arrest that you have made? And obviously, like her being behind the desk all day, she didn't make any arrests, so she responds like none. And already the feminist activist gets completely angry. Like, how dare you ask a competent question? Like, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to just ask her softball questions so she gets the job and we can move on. But then he asks her another, like, okay, well, if you haven't done any arrests for felonies, have you done any arrests for misdemeanors? And again, she says no. And the activist lady is like, so you believe that the women place is in the kitchen, huh? Like she asks smugly like that. And this is the point where Dirty Harry snaps. And he points out, it's like, no, I don't think that the woman's place is in the kitchen, but you're taking a person who has no street experience and you're promoting her to the role of a detective. I mean, this is an injustice that you're doing to her because she didn't start from the ground up. Like, she doesn't have the minimum experience. And because of that, she might end up getting blown up. Like, someone might shoot her. Like, it's her life on the line. But it's not just her life on the line. It's the life of her partner. Because, like, she's going to be in a cop car with another person. And when she makes a mistake, both of them will have to pay for it. And they get into a big argument with the activist lady. But to further prove the point that Dirty Harry is making is that he asks her, it's like, okay, you want me to ask a hypothetical? What if this beautiful feminist would come up to me on the street and proposition to me that I should go over to her house so we can discuss some cases in private? And the lady, like, snaps. It's like, if this is your sense of humor, I will have you know. It's a beautiful scene. But surprisingly for everyone, she actually knows exactly the crime that would be committed. She's like, you'd be committing like the article class, blah, blah, blah. And this proves just how fucked up the system is. Because according to this system, like they would take a person that is doing a desk job and knows how to do it very well, and they would deprive the police force of this talent in order to place her in a position that she is highly inexperienced and wouldn't know what to do. Like not because she's a woman, but because she lacks the experience to actually be a police officer in a cop car. So she would put her life at risk. She would put the life of her partner at risk. She would probably endanger the community because she wouldn't be effective at catching criminals. And at the same time, it's a double jeopardy because like she would be very suited for a different role, that of being behind the desk. And it's so wonderful. Like it makes the case so well. And what's interesting is that it doesn't come off as being preachy. All right, like if you're a feminist watching this, you can say, "Oh, what a misogynist Harry is." But if you're on the side of Harry, you get to understand what's going on without it being explicitly told so in your face. Like you're not being told like, "Hey, this is right or wrong." It's like you're presented with a scenario, and you're left to draw your own conclusion from what you have just seen. And this is why it's an excellent thing. You know, you can put this into YouTube and you can see the whole thing yourself. I definitely suggest it. And again, like this is just part of it. Like the show had other issues they tackle, like a lot of other political issues, like racism and whatnot, and they're all tackled very beautifully. And I want you to watch. Like this is a political thing, right? Like it's got a lot of loaded dice into it, but it doesn't come off as preachy. I mean, heck, we got 3 minutes more, so why not do another one? This is where Dirty Harry manages to save a hostage situation. And instead of being treated like a hero, like you'd expect, he actually gets chewed up by the police chief. Because apparently he used excessive force. He had to knock the door down. He was very aggressive, and of course, all the compassion is towards the criminal rather than the fact that a man managed to save the life of 3 people. And the mayor is very upset with the police chief as well because, like, again, like showing excessive force. And Hattie says, it's like, well, a minute, like, didn't you say that you want us to ram these gangs out of town? And the mayor says, the police chief says, it's like, yeah, I did, but I didn't tell you to be forceful about it. And Hattie's like, so how the fuck do you want me to do my job? Like, just scream insults and harsh words at them until they leave? And because of his actions, he gets punished. He is being put on notice, and worse off, he's being transferred to personnel. And personnel is pretty much the HR version of the 70s.
No, that's for assholes.
So apparently personnel is for assholes. And watch the captain's remark to this.
I was in personnel for 10 years.
So you get like these types of jokes, man. It's so good. And honestly, like you can watch it and it's going to accurately criticize today's culture to a T. Like if you want to watch something that criticizes modern day politics because you can't find anything like that on Hollywood or on TV or anywhere else, you should watch old TV shows because they do such an excellent job just dismantling all the smugness and all the arguments that are coming right now from the establishment. Like, my God. And I gotta say, like, this, to me, restores my faith into the movie industry because it shows that I'm not the one aging and finding all the things that I used to like boring nowadays. No, like, the things I used to like are still good. They're still funny. It's just they don't make them like that anymore. And if you actually go and you watch things from the good old days, you're going to get the same level of entertainment like you used to back then, especially now, like especially in this culture. Like, just go watch Demolition Man again. Trust me what I'm saying to you. Okay, you just find Demolition Man and watch it again. I don't even think it's on these streaming services, by the way. Like, usually they seem to avoid having these movies that are pro American values, pro freedom, pro liberty, anti criminality. Yeah. Pro-order, I guess. Order, evil, chaos, good. Let me know what you guys think, though. If you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And I'll be seeing you in the comment section. Take care.